earlier if need be. In the meantime, be safe and have a great day, everybody.
Currently in our area, 61 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 78. Chance of rain 90%. Tonight, considerable cloudiness with occasional rain showers. Thunder possible. Low 61. Chance of rain 80%. Tuesday, chance of a morning shower. Partly cloudy. High 72. Winds west-northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Good morning, that's your local weather on the 8s. And how about an amazing Monday starts right here on AMHQ? All right, but this is the third Monday in a row of a winter storm. What's going on with that? 53 million of us under winter weather advisories, freezing rain and sleet. Big problems for the morning commute. Whether you're in the New York City area, Hartford, all the way up into Boston, even Philly. Places like Boston seeing their third Monday in a row, as we said, of that heavy snow. And that's where we find Jim Cantore this morning. Jim, it's just another round.
Sam, it is my third Monday on AMHQ, it is my third Monday in Boston, and it is my third Monday covering a snowstorm, buddy. You can't buy that kind of promotion, my friend. Hey, listen to this. We are probably right now, remember we broke the 5, we broke the 7, we broke the 10-day records in Boston. We're probably have just broken the 30-day record for consecutive days of snowfall in Boston, sitting well over now probably about 59 inches. So almost 2 inches a day. How much more are we going to get here in the Commonwealth? We'll talk about it and the plethora of problems that are coming along with this snowfall.
Oh, yeah, there's a big story there. And maybe Boston will chip in and give Jim a ticket out of there, maybe to the Caribbean, because it just seems that it doesn't work when you have Jim on Mondays in Boston. All right, I'm just saying. Now to the southeast, a glorious weekend. Atlanta, you made it up to 68 degrees yesterday, this morning. Some showers moving through. Temperatures are plunging through the south this week. We've got to talk about that. And in California to Washington State, pounded by rain all weekend. 1 to 2 inches of rain flooding parts of San Francisco. This is still a big story for us today. Wind gusts of more than 70 miles an hour, bringing down trees. We're covering it all for you this morning. Our team is out in force. In New York, of course, Stephanie is there, where we've got that freezing mix and rain involved in your commute this morning. In Worcester, Mass, Dave Malkoff is there, looking a little frozen already this morning. In Portland, Maine, we're live for you there. And of course, Tom Nizzle has it in the studio, where we're going to break down this winter storm and even the next one. Marcus isn't done yet. Keith Carson is where it is piling up in Portland, Maine. So let's get Anna Rittis, the story by the numbers on Marcus. Good morning.
Good morning, Sam. Good morning to you at home. That's right, Sam. Public schools in Boston closed again today, and that makes 8 days so far this season, counting snow and cold. The district only allots 5, so these extra days will have to be made up. Schools in Worcester, Providence, and Hartford also closed this morning. There are no travel bans, but we do have speed restrictions on the Mass Pike and the New Jersey Turnpike. More than 1,500 flights into and out of the U.S. are canceled today, with Boston's Logan Airport and New York's LaGuardia accounting for nearly 1,000 of those flights. Marcus is also slowing down travel for bus and rail commuters. So if you're going in on public transit, do know that the MBTA in Boston is announcing service will be suspended on the red and orange lines for 5 hours today, so that jet-powered snowblowers can clear the snow from the tracks in time for the afternoon commute, Sam.
All right, transit, a big story. We're going to be telling you exactly what they're doing. Our Jim Cantore, as you saw, is there live. Hey, Jim, everyone's been talking about getting some snow overnight, but still, their biggest snow yet to come, from falling right now all the way through the day. Morning, Jim.
Yeah, I think we're probably about halfway there, Sam. You know, just kind of walking over here, find a snowless spot. We've got about 8 inches on the ground, 8.3 at Logan, actually, since midnight. There's probably another 5 to 8 inches to go. And it's kind of interesting walking this plank here, because every time you go up, or this time of the morning, the tide starts coming in. So this whole plank starts to rise a little bit. But once again, you can see the city of Boston is covered in snow, and more to come. Guys, we mentioned this at the top. The 5-day record gone. The 7-day gone. 10 10-day gone. Now we're closing in on the 30-day record. And when that official observation comes out at Logan, we should probably set that because we were within an inch of snow, not surprisingly. But the problems are huge. Like Anna Riddis mentioned, this is the most snow days in the last 20 years in Boston. Currently at 8. They're already canceled tomorrow, so that'll be 9. They're talking about potentially Good Friday, a couple of other ancillary holidays in trying to make up the 3 days because they're only allowed 5 per year. And the other thing is, too, they all, if this keeps going into February and March, now you're talking, okay, we're already to June 30th in going to school. So what do you do? Because there's a contract with the teachers that says there will be no school days made up after June 30th. So we cannot go into July. Either way, the biggest problems are obviously a tremendous disruption to parents and education. I mean, you can't learn having 2 days, going to school 2 days a week. I mean, you need day after day after day. All right, so the forecast here for Boston, more snow as we go on through the day today. We'll wait and see where that coastal front winds up. I don't think it's going to come through us. It's to our south now. Niz will talk about this. It's in the 30s. Down across the Cape and across the south part of Boston, or actually the south part of Massachusetts. But here in Boston, the north end, also back into Worcester County, it is in the teens. And it is only going to get colder. Sam, here's a little tip for you. If you look at the forecast for Valentine's Day right now, we are going to be in the single digits to low teens. So you better have somebody you really like.
Absolutely.
Because it's going to be cold.
I was just going to say that. Tip from Cantorian Champion this morning, find someone to warm up with on Valentine's Day in the Boston area. All right, as Boston stacks it up, it's a slip and slide as you get closer to New York. Take a live look at the Brooklyn Bridge this morning, and we'll show you what we're talking about. Freezing rain mixing in with sleet. It's a big concern this morning with up to a tenth of an inch of ice possible on your roads. Well, winter weather advisory in effect until 6 a.m. in the morning. Our Stephanie Abrams is under the little bit of sleet this morning in Columbus Circle. Hey, Steph, first thing, how are the roads around you this morning?
It's just a little wet. And they've been having the salt out. I see plows going around. There's nothing to plow. It's just a matter of getting that salt down to make sure everything doesn't freeze over, because our surface temperature all morning is hanging right around, my thermometer saying around 27, 28 degrees. So you're probably thinking, Abrams, why aren't we seeing snow? It's below freezing by a good amount. We should see it. Well, what's happening is at about 3,000 feet, our temperatures are above freezing. So we're seeing the rain, and then it's freezing right when it gets to the surface. And that's why we're seeing the sleet and freezing rain. There's more details on my Twitter and Facebook page. So here's a look at our radar. Again, you're going to see those purples and those pinks. If you see purple, that's freezing rain. If you see pink, that's sleet. Remember, sleet has a beat. So if you hold your hand out and you see those little pellets pop around, that means it's sleet. Freezing rain is liquid that freezes right on contact. And that's what makes for that icing, and that's what makes for the slippery roadways. They do have all the salt plows out hour by hour. It looks like on the backside of this, we'll have enough cold air in place at enough layers. I always say the atmosphere is like a hamburger. So if you had temperatures below freezing through that big layer all the way above us and all the way to the surface, then you're going to get some snow. We might get a little bit on the backside of this, but that's it. Just a little bit, though we are 5 inches above average on snowfall here, Sam. But they're ready. They got everything going. It's just annoying. It's literally, everyone's just so sick of it. It's exhausting.
You know what to do in New York. Whether it's sleet or freezing rain, it means those roads are going to be slippery in many spots. Just take it easy again this Monday morning. Stephanie Abrams with the coolest gloves in morning television. Let's get to that cold air falling in behind Marcus. Of course, it's going to change. It's going to change everybody's week.
Yeah, everybody. And we look at areas like Cleveland, Ohio. I know you got hammered with the snow last week. You were saying, well, give us some more love. We're giving you love right now. And Cleveland, right now, as we show you today, if you head out the door, it's 20 degrees. We're looking at some very light snow out there. Winds are gusty. As we go through the afternoon, notice your temperatures aren't going to be climbing much at all. We're going to be stuck right near 20 degrees. As we show you on a wider view what's going on, 21 degrees in Minneapolis, 20 degrees in Detroit, 30 degrees in Indianapolis. Now we pull this out for you and we talk about what goes through the afternoon. Notice these winds are going to be coming in from the northeast. That is going to keep you locked in the cold. Now notice for Minneapolis, you're going to be 4 degrees above average. Detroit, it looks like 7 for you, but this is 6 o'clock in the afternoon, or I should say evening hours. And then we jump ahead through tomorrow. Indianapolis, you're going to be at 38 degrees, 25 in Detroit. And then notice as we head until Wednesday, that cold air is still in place. You can kind of see that dividing line there. 2 degrees below average for you in Chicago, 37 in Detroit. Temperatures
temperatures are going to be cool. As we show you, we go through Thursday. This is when the coldest air is really going to be felt. We're going to be looking at numbers almost 20 degrees below average after getting spoiled by really some nice warm weather over the last couple of days. For Chicago, your average high should be 33 degrees. Today, 27, 27 tomorrow, 35. You're thinking, wow, we're on a warming trend. And then here comes Thursday with 12 degrees. And that's why Jim Cantore says, find somebody to love. And hopefully they got a little meat on their bones. It's too cold for all this.
Right. It's our best advice to you by the time we get to the end of the week. All right, we've got your roads, we've got your trains covered. Air travel is a big topic, as well as kids running out of school days and parents running out of vacation days. We'll tackle it all. We'll be right back.
Currently in our area, 61 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 78. Chance of rain 90%. Tonight, considerable cloudiness with occasional rain showers. Thunder possible. Low 61. Chance of rain 80%. Tuesday, chance of a morning shower. Partly cloudy. High 72. Winds west-northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Nine minutes past the hour on AMHQ. Of course, waking you up on the East Coast, we've got warmer temperatures in the deep south, big time snow and icy problems in the north. We're of course covered there. One of the top 10 snowiest seasons ever in Boston. Jim Cantore, it seems stupid to say it, but they've already run out of space. So what do you do? Got to have a plan.
You know, it's difficult. I mean, you can't just go dump it in the Charles River, okay? Yeah. I mean, it's salt, it's contaminated. That's not going to happen. So you just got to keep melting away at it. You know, the good news is we've got those Snowzillas up from New York to help out with the mass transit, because, I mean, the governor's in a pickle here. He's like, look, I don't want you on the roads, so take mass transit. But if mass transit's working at a reduced schedule, look, these people got to get to work. Yeah. So, I mean, this is a huge issue here, Sam. They need to be able to open up those, you know, the trains and the buses and get those moving, obviously, as quick as they can. And, of course, everybody's just going to have to realize things are going to be slower. People aren't going to get to work on time. So just, you know, be patient with that. Some parents have issues now because their kids are home now for the 8th day. Yep. And, you know, they have no option but to stay home with them. So, you know, this is kind of leading to more and more problems here. And we're already canceled tomorrow. As you know, we're already canceled tomorrow.
I know, because you're going to be standing there all day long as that snow continues to fall. Jim just mentioned those Snowzillas for everybody. Yeah, and Boston has them of their own, but Jim, New York is sending theirs up, so we'll show you again and talk about these beasts and explain them a little bit. So you get snow and ice on those rails. Yeah, Snowzillas. They're basically jet engine powered snow blowers that melt, well, they blow it off and the ice off the tracks. Later in this hour, we're going to talk to Dr. Beverly Scott, the general manager of the MBTA, about how snow removal is going and what kind of delays you can expect. They are going to have to shut down.
And Sam, you know what's...
Go ahead.
You know what's really cool about that is, first of all, for New York to give Boston anything is kind of tremendous when you think about it. Because this is the biggest rivalry in sports. You know what I'm saying? New York and Boston. So this is kind of a big deal for the New York folks to give Boston folks. But you know what? Like you said, 11 days to pitchers and catchers, and all the gifts are gone. Now the gloves come off, and we'll see what happens in baseball season between the Yankees and the Red Sox.
It's hard to believe that you could even say the words baseball. It all goes back to
sports, baby.
Yeah. It's hard to believe you could even say it standing there in all that snow, Jim. All right, but the red line is going to be suspended for a while today. So will the orange line while they get those snow blowers out on the rail. Meanwhile, Jim brought up an excellent point. Kids have run out of snow days, basically. Parents are running out of vacation days trying to keep these kids at home and take care of them. Our Dave Malkoff this morning is in a place that's just been piling up with snow in Worcester. And Dave, good morning. Let's talk a little bit about that. I love your shot because it looks like you're standing on top of the street lights.
Yeah, look at this. This is a winter wonderland out here. We did have a bobcat going back there trying to push the snow out of the way. They should be at the 36-inch mark for the season. Now we're in to the 80-inch mark for the season, 81 and beyond that. So we are more than 200% of more snow than we need. That bobcat going back there is kind of a lesson in futility. It's almost like taking a teaspoon and trying to take away the snow as fast as it comes down. It's not really going to help anybody. The schools are closed here. Jim was saying that the schools are into 8 days. In Boston, here we've already gone through 8 days. We're pushing on past that. And also, you were talking about how that affects the entire community. Yes, it does. Let me give you an anecdote from here in Worcester. We actually had a family that we talked to, and we'll hear from them in just about an hour. Their kids are sick and tired of the school days, of the snow days here, because they want to go back to school. They don't want to take snow days out of their spring vacation and their summer vacation. They don't want to lose that. And how do you get to work, Sam? Well, there's a nursing home here that actually the manager is coming out in a van and picking up the nursing aides from around Worcester. How does he do that? He's a former limo driver, so he knows about how to get around in this snowfall. But if you don't have that, you ain't getting to work in all this, Sam.
Right, absolutely right. Everybody needs to help everybody else. Just clear out those hydrants as well. We saw those problems with fires last week, and we should say that Boston now, it's official, their snowiest 30 days ever. Let's get down into the south, Jen, because we've got that rain this morning, and folks were loving their weekend.
Loving the weekend. It was simply beautiful here, but we have a cold front that is pushing through, the same one that moved through parts of Midwest, bringing back to the reality. Now we look at the southeast right now. We have some rain on the radar. This is a live view. This is Atlanta, 57 degrees. Now the good news is it's nothing significant. It's going to be pushing through. As we go through the morning and through the afternoon hours, we'll continue to see some rain really kind of firing up on it. Notice we'll see chance for some thunder for areas including Tampa, Miami. You just had your first thunder last week since like October, the middle of October. Could see a chance today. We'll see high temperatures still in the 60s, the 70s for Charleston, 68 degrees in Jackson. Now we look ahead through tomorrow, starting to notice a little bit of a cooling trend behind that front for 52 for your high in Memphis and 56 in Atlanta. Now as we look ahead, this Arctic air is going to be building in. You see all that purple? It's all going to be coming down towards the south. And here in Georgia, we're not going to be able to dodge this. We're going to be looking at the cold air in place for Atlanta. Your average high should be 55 degrees by Friday. It really starts to get really cold around here.
Yeah, so a couple of days of 60s, a little 50 sandwiched in, and then here comes the plunge. We've got more snow ahead. We're going to take you through it on AMHQ.
Robitussin has a unique dual-action liquid that instantly soothes your throat and delivers fast, powerful cough relief. Control your cough with Robitussin.
Cough number 5, the sleepless night. Sorry. Robitussin DM Max Nighttime's dual-action liquid instantly soothes your throat and delivers fast, powerful cough relief. Robitussin, don't suffer the consequences.
Robitussin has a dual-action liquid that soothes your throat and relieves your cough.
So you think all auto glass companies are the same? Well, they're not. When your windshield needs to be replaced, nobody makes it as worry-free as Safelite. First, Safelite emails a photo of the technician, so you know who to expect and how soon.
Right on time.
Safelite's one-of-a-kind True Seal technology places a new glass in perfect position for a strong, reliable bond you can trust.
Oh, that looks great.
You're all set.
Thank you so much.
Schedule now to get the Safelite Advantage.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
Ring, ring.
Progresso.
I can't believe I'm eating bacon-enriched creamy cheese before my sister's wedding.
Well, it's only 100 calories, so you'll be ready for that dress.
Uh-huh.
You don't love the dress?
I love my sister.
40 flavors, 100 calories or less.
You can't predict the market. But at T. Rowe Price, we've helped guide our clients through good times and bad. Our experienced investment professionals are one reason over 85% of our mutual funds beat their 10-year Lipper averages. So in a variety of markets, we can help you feel confident. Request a prospectus or summary prospectus with investment information, risks, fees, and expenses to read.
Mike, Janet, cough if you can hear me.
Don't even think about it.
I took Mucinex DM for my phlegmy cough.
Yeah, but what about Mike? He has that dry, scratchy thing going on.
Well, guess what? It works on his cough, too.
What? Stop. Don't pull me. Spoiler alert, she doesn't make it.
Only Mucinex DM packs 2 medicines in 1 pill to relieve wet and dry coughs for 12 hours. Start the relief. Ditch the misery. Let's end this.
Hey, girl. Is it crazy that your soccer trophy is talking to you right now? It kind of is. It's as crazy as you not rolling over your old 401k. Cue the horns. Just harness the confidence it took you to win me and call TD Ameritrade's rollover consultants. They'll help with the hassle by guiding you through the whole process step by step. And they'll even call your old provider. It's easy. Even she could do it.
Whatever, Janet.
For all the confidence you need, TD Ameritrade. You got this.
6106. For a free brochure, call 1-800-594-6106.
Mr. Gray will see you now.
I'm used to getting my own way.
It must be really boring.
Got me looking so crazy right now.
Rated R.
Currently in our area, 62 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 78. Chance of rain 90%. Tonight, considerable cloudiness with occasional rain showers. Thunder possible. Low 61. Chance of rain 80%. Tuesday, chance of a morning shower. Partly cloudy. High 72. Winds west-northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Nineteen minutes past the hour right here on AMHQ. We'll just start with the big headline. We have now broken the 30-day snowfall record in Boston. 61.6 inches, I think, is the official total right now. So everything we get on top of that will be just slamming that record. Now, take a live look at the George Washington Bridge this morning. And while Boston stacks it up, New York and New Jersey and the Hudson Valley are sliding it out this morning. We've got some icy, wet roads all across the Northeast. So let's pinpoint some of those areas for you this morning. Just a quick look at the radar and look toward the blue and the pink and where they intersect, because that's where the roads will get a little bit sloppy. You can see Long Island out toward the LIE. You've got a little bit of freezing rain. That's some sleet mixed in with that. It really doesn't matter as far as the roads go, because whatever you hit is going to be glazed. If the roads are treated, they're tending to be a little bit wet right now. Tom Duzza will break it down for you when you get what and the changeover. But let's zoom in just a little bit into the Hudson Valley here, and you can start to see that little pocket that's pretty heavy around Point Pleasant, White Plains, all the way in towards Stamford, Connecticut this morning. So that means Wilton, Weston, it's a part of your life right now, on into New Canaan as well. That iciness, 21 in Bridgeport, 26 in Islip, 25 in New York. Those numbers are well below the freezing mark, but we don't have cold air stacked all the way through. We will in the atmosphere. We will later on today, but that's why you're getting that changeover a little bit right now, and you're getting the mixing going on. Take a quick look at what we expect for you guys during the day today in your forecast. So for New York, this is the way it gets. 8 a.m. all the way. We'll use you as an example because it's the same in Newark. It's the same in Hartford this morning. It's really the same in Islip as well. 4 p.m. we're going to get a little bit of snow. So when we get solid cold air, we'll collect a little bit, not a lot. Our problems are the icing and the mixing today. We'll leave the snow a lot north of us. For Jim Cantore this morning in Boston. Good morning, Jim.
Yeah, 12.1 in Boston now from this storm. Another foot storm here for Boston, and really my third one in a row on a consecutive Monday for AMHQ. How cool is that? By the way, the other thing too, that radar you showed, Sam, was textbook. Think about what's happening. You've got the hills in northwest New Jersey. All right, you've got the hills in western Connecticut, and you've got the Hudson Valley that comes down to New York. So that cold, dense air is sinking right down toward New York City. And you can even see the snow outline on the radar, which was really, really awesome to look at. So let's bring in the Niz right now and talk about this. Niz, a couple of things I want to have you talk about here. First of all, the atmospheric profile and what it may look like right now over New York versus Boston and the atmospheric structure. Plus, what is coming toward the end of the week? Take the snow out of the equation, but we have some brutal cold for the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, and the Northeast coming, don't we? I mean, this is like some of these temperatures that we're seeing in the upper levels of the atmosphere are something we haven't seen in a few years.
Well, they aren't, and we're going to see the coldest air of the season as we get into the end of the week. So that snow's going nowhere once it gets down on the ground. That is just adding insult to injury. Let's take a quick look now. You had mentioned, and Sam had talked about this area of freezing rain and sleet in here. The pink area is the sleet across New York City right now. Well to the north of that, it's cold enough through the atmosphere to produce snow. But I want to show you how this sets up across the area. So let's take a quick look here. This is the cold air that it's working its way down through that Hudson Valley. And if we tip the atmosphere into 3 dimensions, the cold air down at the surface, very, very dense air, is coming in this direction, and the warm air is coming above that. And when we get that set up, guys, this is what we end up with. Snow falling through this layer of warm air, hitting the ground where it's below freezing and turning to freezing rain. Now, if we just make this temperature here a few thousand feet above the surface a couple of degrees colder, the raindrops refreeze again. They come down as sleet. We want sleet rather than freezing rain. Freezing rain produces the glaze. Sleet has a beat, it bounces, and is not as dangerous as that. But I'll tell you what, you take a look at New York City, it's going to be going back and forth from sleet to freezing rain over the next several hours here before we once again get cold enough later in the afternoon to go to snow.
Excellent point. Rather have sleet than freezing rain, because freezing rain is what stacks up on the tree branches, also on the power lines, and it's that solid sheet of ice on the roads. All right, so we'll take it anytime we can get. Hey, there's this brand new website called Citizens Connect, or brand new to me anyway. Bostonians can post complaints and big problems, and wow, are they ever. Anna Rittis, what are they saying?
So it's an app. So basically, if any Bostonian sees an issue that they don't like, they take a picture with their phone and they send in kind of like a work order to the city. Graffiti, trash, whatever it is. Right now, though, the issue is snow, and at last count, we counted 50,000 snow or ice complaints on this website. All of them posted within the last 12 to 14 hours. This was very typical. A homeowner complains a plow driver took snow from one side of the street and dumped it on her side, right smack in the middle of the sidewalk, and she wants that to reshovel. The next one is coming from someone who says these parked cars are blocking an emergency route. He or she writes, a road doesn't get properly plowed because cars are never towed. Please enforce the parking ban. Keep sending us those pictures. #MyWeather. We've got a good list going. A lot of people dealing with snow this morning.
All right, and we know that's a huge problem. So Boston, we're dealing with that. We've got the snow pile there. And if you're trying to get to work this morning, all your commuter rail is on an abbreviated schedule, on a much lighter schedule. We'll talk about that.
Looks like the Garcias got a new car.
What'd they get?
I don't know.
Sure doesn't look like a Buick.
I'm outside. Where are you? I'm right here. I'm in the Buick. I don't see a Buick.
Take a fresh look at Buick. It just might surprise you.
That's not a Buick. That's what I told him. Wow. This is nice. Oh, my.
Now during the Buick President's Day event, get $5,000 total cash back on select Buick sedans in stock the longest.
Let's go from our little girl to all grown up. Let's say out with the old and in with the options, like that one, or those, with features like this. Let's get exactly what we imagined for less than we thought, and turn a modest budget into a majorly stylish bath. New bathroom, no problem. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Shop stylish vanities in-store and online.
The way we see it, after a heavy snowfall, you have 2 options. You can stay inside, or get behind the wheel of the Jeep Grand Cherokee with an available best-in-class 4x4 traction management system to maximize control, giving you confidence in all weather conditions. This is the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most awarded SUV ever. Well-qualified lessees can lease the 2015 Grand Cherokee Laredo for $349 a month.
Looks like 20 feet.
At Intel, they have this technology. You can take a picture and measure the distance before you jump.
Intel, this is where it all changes.
Cheez-It Grooves are the best of both worlds, like a Cheez-It and a chip.
Oh, you just put them together?
Yes.
Closer. Closer. They're kissing.
We take time for our cheese to mature in our crispy Cheez-It Grooves.
He's a 27-year-old billionaire. In the society pages, he's never been photographed with anyone.
Be free. Welcome to my world.
Which one's yours?
All of them.
Thanks for the ride.
I had a rough start in life. I don't do romance. If you do this, I will be devoted to you, and only you.
You said you didn't do romance.
I don't.
Rated R.
Wow, I've been Claritin Clear for 10 days.
When your allergies start, doctors recommend taking one non-drowsy Claritin every day during your allergy season for continuous relief.
18 days.
12 days.
24 days of continuous relief. Live Claritin Clear every day.
Sir, we're gonna need you on the runway later. Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Get Theraflu with the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion. It breaks you free from your toughest cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
Sometimes the best used car on the road is the one you're still using. Right now, get a synthetic blend oil change, including a free battery check for only $21.99 at Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 62 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 78. Chance of rain 90%. Tonight, considerable cloudiness with occasional rain showers. Thunder possible. Low 61. Chance of rain 80%. Tuesday, chance of a morning shower. Partly cloudy. High 72. Winds west-northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
These storms that we're getting is unprecedented. We've never seen this type of snow here in the city of Boston at any other time in the history of our city.
And let's name them. Juno, Linus, Marcus, those are the storms that he's talking about. That's Boston's Mayor Marty Walsh. You just heard him talk about those 3 storms breaking the record, the 30-day record, happening right now as Jim Cantore is standing in Boston this morning. And Jim, we expected it. You know, you've been measuring the snow that you've had overnight, right. So here we go, more today.
Yeah, so we've broken the 5, the 10, the 7, and the 10-day records, now the 30. So 30 days right now in Boston, new record at 61.6 inches. We are within 10 inches of snow of breaking into the top 10 of any season. All right, here in Boston, and we are within probably about 5 inches of being into the top 10 of February. So we're probably somewhere around 30 inches now. So that's going to be interesting to watch all the. I mean, the stats are overwhelming, Sam. They're driving me crazy to think about. Great shot of the boat here. This one actually serves some of the oil refineries that are out there over the water, and you can see they're scraping the snow off that. A lot of these guys live on it. So I asked them. I said, guys, it's kind of nice to not have to commute into work, isn't it? And they're like, well. It just depends on how you look at it. if you live out on a boat, sometimes it is nice, sometimes it isn't, especially in the middle of winter and through here, Sam. But I'll tell you, big problems here, especially 8th day in a row now. This is the most school closings they've ever had in Boston in the last 20 years. We've got over 515 flights out of Boston, in and out of Boston, canceled today. That's a huge amount of the fleet there. And you can just imagine the disruptions they've got going on. And there's just no place to put this snow. I mean, think about it. They're melting 400 tons an hour of snow, and they still have no place to put it. There's just too much snow, and unfortunately, it's not giving them a break with the weather. It's not going to melt anytime soon, especially as we look at the weather going into this weekend. Yeah, brutally cold coming.
You look at those temperatures. Exactly, Jim. When you look at those temperatures coming, this is not a problem that's going to go away naturally. So we got to figure out a way to tackle it. Jim, hey, by the way, Governor Charlie Baker is going to talk at about somewhere around 7:30 this morning. We're already kind of right there. So we're going to continue our coverage, but as soon as he gets to the podium, Jim. If he's got something new to talk about, we're going to jump in on that. Let's go to Dr. Beverly Scott, CEO and General Manager for the Massachusetts Bay Transit Authority. Everybody knows it as MBTA, and with us now. So, Dr. Scott, let's talk a little bit about it. Boston depends a lot on this mass transit. We've got 600 miles of computer rail alone. So how are we going to keep it up during this storm now? What is our plan, and how is it different from other storms?
Let me tell you, well, the difference from other storms is that we have not seen anything like this.
Yeah.
I mean, this goes beyond the 78 blizzard, and I think you said it very well. This one is obviously a marathon. I've heard as high as 80 inches that we've had, and it continues, and then the brutal temperatures that we're going to have it's going to be sub-zero temperatures here coming into the end of the week. So let me just be real clear.
Yep.
We are first and foremost, it is always about safety, and so, but we know that the Commonwealth, and quite candidly, our capital city and surrounding areas don't move without the T. So we are in constant communication with the governor's office and with others, and we've made the call that we're running what is an extremely limited, reduced service today, but we have all of our modes that are out. It is extremely dynamic as we believe, and as anything evidences itself, that we think that we need to wind up restricting that further. We're making that call in real time. We're telling all of our customers, if you can stay home, please do so, okay? But we do appreciate that there are lifeline and essential situations, and so I cannot say enough about the workforce here. They have been doing this now for over a 2-week period of time, and I mean continuing to roll, and we're telling everybody safety first, but people are literally going 24/7. So there'll be a lot of this big wake-up calls in terms of just, that infrastructure investment that isn't, it's not popular.
Yeah,
but
we're sure gonna have to talk about that in the days ahead. Dr. Scott, let me just step back for just a second and let's talk a little bit about these Snowzillas, because I know you guys have one, or at least one, and now New York is sharing. Let's just talk about how important that is to you guys in getting your rail blown out and cleared out.
They have, once again, they gave us, I can't thank the folks at New York City enough. It gave us an opportunity. We didn't think we'd have the 18 to 24 this week, but it's given us the opportunity actually to be able to get out on some segments of our lines that we just would not have been able to have the person power to do, and literally blow some snow away from off that third rail to actually give us room for more snow to come in, but it's actually making it possible for us to be able to get out there with the limited service today. So we just continue. I can't thank New York enough. They just automatically just said, yes, we'll help you any way we can, and we've been able to add another piece to our arsenal, and we need everything that we can.
I know you do. Hey, let's talk a little bit about riders and what they can expect, and how many people may be stacked up waiting to get on trains. I know we've got to suspend the red line for a little bit today, the orange line as well, because we've got to use those Snowzillas on those tracks. But right now, Dr. Scott, do we have any idea of what the wait time is? I know you've said limited schedule, so maybe people should just check that and not try to get there early, but then they're standing out because they all want to pile in on the train. So do we have any idea of wait time?
A wait time, what we're telling folks is that they should expect 2 to 3 times what your normal frequency level would be. So if it's a 10-minute, then you need to give yourself 20. You need to expect that it could be 20 minutes, okay? And if it's, and so that's but we're constantly saying, please check your T alerts, because what we're doing is giving best real-time information as we possibly can. But people do need to plan ahead. And once again, if you can stay home, please stay home, because the streets, the sidewalks, everything, it is, it's really, the conditions are beyond messy. I mean, it's very difficult, very
It's true, but you know what's awesome about this conversation, Dr. Scott, is to hear how present you are, and how you're keeping your folks, ready and nimble and trying to respond to the problems that are there. If you'll hang on just one more question, because Jim Cantore is out there in Boston for us right now, so he's actually seeing the conditions that Bostonians are under. And Jim, I know you have something you want to say to Dr. Scott this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Scott, thank you, first of all, for that great update. The only thing I wanted to ask you is, what do we have to get at now in terms of snow and cold for you to say, all right, let's shut this thing down, because we're going to do more good by shutting it down than keeping it going?
Do you know that's one that we continue to do? It's not a singular decision. If there's anything that we see that's an unsafe condition, we'll just shut down immediately. Okay, but this is it's a total complex, because if I'm shutting down over on this end, but if the businesses and stuff are not shutting down,
exactly,
then we're just causing. So there's no solo acts here. Okay,
Dr. Scott?
Everybody's got to be in there and take the best look that you can, and understand the fact that
Dr. Scott, hang on just a second for me. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but Governor Baker, your governor, is taking the podium right now. Let's just hear what he has to say.
State plows had moved enough snow to fill Gillette Stadium 90 times. If you think about what's happened with DCR, Department of Conservation and Recreation, and the locals as well, probably double that number. But for municipal governments, the big issue at this point is where to put it. Some of the issues around the conditions of sidewalks, which has a lot to do with why virtually all public schools in Massachusetts are closed today. As we said last night, we closed state offices today for everybody except emergency personnel, and we urged other employers who could encourage their folks to either work from home or to stay home to do so, because of our concerns about traveling under these conditions. In addition to this, the MBTA is running on a very abbreviated schedule. There are delays on the commuter rail and some cancellations, and there are delays and some cancellations on the rapid transit system as well, especially on the Red Line. We urge everybody to make sure they check mbta.com to determine the status of whatever they might want to ride on to get an update there. Logan Airport has canceled the majority of its flights. They're open, but the vast majority of their flights aren't coming in or going out. And at this point, we're starting to worry a lot about roofs, which are now under tremendous stress as a result of the snow we've seen over the course of the past few days. In addition to that, ice dams, fire hydrants continue to be an issue. If you happen to live near one, it would be terrific if you could help extricate it from the snow. And then finally, I would just like to say thanks to everybody who's been pushing a shovel or driving a plow, or working to run a train, or move people around, or running a 24/7 facility over the course of the past 2 weeks. It's been a real challenge for everyone. And with that said, happy to take questions or turn it over to the folks here as well.
Governor, judging from what you've seen so far this morning,
all right, that was Governor Charlie Baker. We had just spoken with Dr. Beverly Scott, and we had happened to be dealing with the whole MBTA incidents and theories and how they're going to handle all this snow when Governor Baker took to the podium and actually started talking a little bit about it, talking about the delays, also talking about the air delays, saying that Logan has canceled a majority of their flights, even though the airport at this hour remains open. He's also saying something very interesting this morning to folks in the Boston area: work from home, stay at home. So this is going to be an interesting, I guess, experiment in that. How long, how many days can we actually keep folks at home? Talking about that light service that they have on the transit. Fire hydrants, another thing that he brought up as well, asking people to clear the fire hydrants. You remember even from the last snowstorm, when we were looking at the snow from Linus, we had some fires in the area, iced over and snow-packed hydrants, so they're trying to get ahead of that with Marcus this storm. And he spent a lot of time actually thanking Jim, the folks who are working. And it's so funny because Dr. Scott was also talking about the fact that they've been on 12-hour shifts. These people have been working around the clock in this storm, and it totally makes sense based on the kind of snow they've got.
I mean, a couple of things are apparent to me. First of all, you can hear it in everybody's voice now. We're kind of into uncharted territory. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're at the point where, I mean, the governor's kind of got, not deliberately, but he's in a tough spot because he doesn't want people on the roads, but yet the only way to get to work is on mass transit, which, as you know, is limited or even incredibly slow, especially with the Red Line this morning. And Boston has a fantastic mass transit system, all right? So to take that out of the mix is huge. is huge for Boston. And again, as we continue to get this snow and this cold, and it's not just a beastly storm, it's shutting things down, but it's one of these things that we will just continue to see the snow coming down, probably another 5 to 8 inches here in Boston. So while all that's going on, they have to continue to remove the snow from all these streets. So this is just an ongoing issue here, Sam, in Boston. Really, and we get the feeling we're kind of in uncharted territory. And it makes sense, certainly given the snow records that we've seen fall in the last couple of weeks.
All right, Jim, thank you. We're going to get, with that little mention of flight delays, Jennifer's ready with some of these things, I think. Jennifer, are you ready to go with those flight delays? Okay.
Let's talk more about the flight delays. And again, we just heard from the governor of Massachusetts. He says, you know, Logan is open, but the problem is a lot of those flights, and the majority of the flights are canceled. So don't expect to get a flight into or out of Logan. Let's take it over to the wall and show you some of the travel delays out there. For Boston, 0, as well as for D.C. But notice for Philadelphia, we have delays 1 hour and 19 minutes. That, of course, is all due to Winter Storm Marcus. Marcus limiting the visibility there for LaGuardia right now. We are having reports of some sleet out there, but right now, no delays to report. Over to you, Sam.
All right, we're going to take a look at Keith Carson in Maine. If we have a radar right quick, Ryan, I'd just love to look at it because it's been a while since we've seen one. And if we can put one up for the Northeast quickly before we go to Keith, I just want you to realize that this isn't mostly going on throughout the day. If you're just waking up with us on the Weather Channel this morning, take a look at that hit of snow that goes from central New York State all the way into Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, southern Vermont, southern New Hampshire, the southern coast is Maine. This is pretty much an all-day snow event for you in New York. Of course, we're on the slip and slide with that little bit of mix going in, but later on this afternoon, we'll take care of all that. We'll stop the mixing and we'll kind of get a little bit of a collection of snow as we pull out. Our Keith Carson is in Maine this morning. Southern Maine is bearing the brunt of the storm while northern Maine is out of it. But good morning, Keith.
Good morning, Sam. Yeah, you know, it's been snowing here pretty consistently, and the bigger story has been how cold it is. I'm joined now by Nick Mavadonis, who is the city councilor here, and, you know, I want to talk to you about what's going on this morning. Where's schools at right now in the area?
Schools in Portland are closed for the day. Some of the surrounding communities have closed. Others have had a 2-hour delay.
And how do you feel about the 2-hour delay, given that it's going to be snowing through the day? Do you think they may end up making a decision down the line to actually cancel?
I think it's on a community-by-community basis.
Right.
Certainly for parents and staff, it's easier to know the night before, but each community looks at it a little differently, and the weather's different in each town.
Okay, and let me talk to you about what are we doing with all this snow, because this is going to be a problem. It already is a problem.
It's a huge challenge in Portland. It's a huge challenge in all the communities around Maine. We have some spots in the city that we usually use, and they're pretty well filled up. Right. So the next step is to try to find alternative locations and try to be creative, because with the temperatures, it's certainly not melting.
No, that's for sure. And real quick here, just as a personal person, as a Mainer, are you sick of this yet, or are you good with it?
I'm really tired of it. I'm used to snow, but it's come, so many storms have come so close together,
right,
that I'm ready for the warmer weather to get here.
That's July. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate you coming out. By the way, Sam, I was wearing a hat and it fell off. I'm not a tough guy.
I know.
It's behind me.
Just so everybody knows, he'll get it. He'll keep the head warm because that's brutal cold air coming in behind it. We'll be right back to talk about your next winter round. And yep, there's another one.
A Headlines is brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. See car insurance in a whole new light.
You pay your auto insurance premium every month on the dot. You're like the poster child for paying on time. And then one day, you tap the bumper of a station wagon. No big deal, until your insurance company jacks up your rates. You freak out. What good is having insurance if you get punished for using it? Hey, insurance companies, newsflash. Nobody's perfect.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Who wants pizza rolls? This game day, fun harder with Totino's Pizza Rolls.
Americans. 57% of us try to exercise regularly. 83% try to eat healthy. Yet up to 90% of us fall short in getting key nutrients from food alone. Let's do more together. Add one a day, complete with key nutrients we may need. Plus, for women, physical energy support with B vitamins. And for men, it helps support healthy blood pressure with vitamin D and magnesium. Take one a day multivitamins.
Covaquin's number 5, the sleepless night.
sorry. Robitussin DM Max Nighttime's dual-action liquid instantly soothes your throat and delivers fast, powerful cough relief. Robitussin, don't suffer the consequences.
My name is Jason, and I work for Comcast. We know the best way to improve is by listening to our customers. That's why we guarantee 2-hour appointment windows, night and day, 7 days a week. With our 97% on-time rate, you'll never have to wait around. And if we're ever late, you'll get a $20 credit. I think we're getting better all the time.
Only Xfinity guarantees 2-hour appointment windows. And with our 97% on-time rate, you can count on us to be there. Xfinity, the future of awesome.
Imagine waking up every morning to a beautiful, lush, perfectly manicured lawn. You don't have to imagine anymore. Located in Jupiter, Synthetic Turf International is the global leader in synthetic landscape solutions, putting greens, and functional activity surfaces. And STI Jupiter was just chosen to provide and install the synthetic turf for the tailgate field next to this year's college football championship game in Dallas. So stop at the mowing. Let our trained staff show you how your lawn can start paying you. Call for a free quote. Synthetic Turf International.
There's no obligation, so call toll-free at 1-800-200-6120.
Every Sunday night, we're taking our cameras to 14,000 feet.
This ain't a good place to make a mistake.
With these extreme fortune seekers.
Look how blue that is!
Gambling on the dig of their lives.
This is an absolute extreme situation. If this is my last year on the mound, be a fine way to go out.
Season 3, Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 64 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 78. Chance of rain 90%. Tonight, considerable clouding. Tuesday, chance of a morning shower. Partly cloudy. High 72. Winds west-northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Minutes after the hour, we continue to get you up and moving in the East Coast out the door this morning. Of course, the Southeast has got another mild start with a little bit of rain, but take a look at Massachusetts and let's talk about there. Juneau, Linus, Marcus, that's the triple threat in that area that delivered 61.6 inches of record snow in 30 days. Never has this area seen that much snow in 30 days, and it's still falling this morning. Let's talk to Jim. Jim, this morning, we continue to watch that snow, and if there's another foot in this storm, and another storm, I don't even know what you tell people.
Here's the deal. We've now cracked the top 10. What's today, the 8th? Is it the 8th today, Sam?
Yeah. No,
okay.
Today's the 9th.
On the February 8th.
9th.
Okay, February 9th, whatever the heck. It's in the single digits. We've now cracked the top 10. We've now cracked the top 10 for all Februaries in Boston, and it's only February 9th. Yeah. We're probably within about 4 or 5 inches of cracking the top 10 for a season in Boston right now. So we're at 66.3 season-wise, and that number obviously is going up. It is snowing harder here, by the way. It is snowing much harder than it was. We have different types of flakes. Looks like a little warm air's coming in. Looks like that ocean, you know, that coastal front, which is to our southeast, is obviously basically helping this air to convert the warm, moist ocean air with the cold surface air. I mean, you've just got a perfect setup for maximum snow growth here, snow crystal growth, and that's what we've got going on. Now, what's down the pike? I know you don't want to hear about this till one storm is over, but we've got to look ahead. I want to bring in the Niz and talk about this. Niz, what do you think the bigger story is going forward? The cold that's coming, for the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes, and the Northeast, or the snow that we may get on Thursday, Friday with this thing?
You know, I think it's going to be a combination, but here's one thing I'm really concerned about. Being a homeowner from up north and going through this for decades is the ice damming that occurs on these homes when you get snow loads that are going to stay on them. Temperature's not going to go above freezing, and you get these ice dams because of heat getting released into the roofs. The snow melts a bit and builds up in those rain gutters. You're going to see a lot of problems there, guys. So it's that combination of cold and snow. And yes, indeed, we've got another system that is sitting right here in the wings up in far northern Canada. All of this energy going to work its way down into New England over the next couple of days. And here is the setup. Jet stream again plunging southward here. Here is that low. It cuts across and gets out to the east coast here. Still the devil in the details as to what it's going to do out here on the coast. But this entire region here, including New England, is going to be under another round of snow. So here's Wednesday night. You can see we get a little break here in New England. We're open up here. But as we get into Thursday and that system works its way toward the coast, once again from Buffalo right down that I-90 corridor right in along the Mass Turnpike, and in particular right in this region here, this could be in the crosshairs for once again another round of heavier snowfall. So let's move this forward and take a look at the cold temperatures as we go from today and into Thursday. This system brings down this next batch of very cold air across the Great Lakes in the Northeast. That's the Thursday time frame. If you think it's over, guys, look at what we're forecasting as we go into the weekend. This air is going to be the coldest of the season. It is going to be like an Arctic icebox in the Northeast, and it moves far enough south to actually get down into places like Atlanta, Georgia. Here are your high temperatures on Saturday. 9 degrees in Burlington, Boston only 17. Your overnight lows on Sunday down to 6 degrees in Boston, and up here across upstate New York and New England where there's a lot of snow on the ground, well below zero. So a lot going on here. Boston's average high 38 degrees. Take a look at this in the next 10 days. We stay in that Arctic icebox. This is going to be a huge story on top of all of that snow, Sam. We'll keep you updated throughout the day.
Interesting. I just saw on Twitter, someone just asked that question. Is there such a thing as snow rage, like road rage?
And snow fatigue.
Yeah, but snow fatigue.
Snow fatigue.
I like that. Try to make snow fatigue happen.
I'm going to make it happen. It's fetch.
Stop making it. It's fetch.
You got to know Mean Girls.
We heard from Governor Charlie Baker saying that they've seen so much snow that it could fill Gillette Stadium in Foxborough 90 times. You've been sending us your pictures. Take a look at this one. This is kind of like a pick stitch of the last 3 weeks coming to us from Dorchester. The caption was, "Every day I'm shoveling. Every day I'm shoveling." I love that.
It's totally true.
The next shot's coming out of the Zakim Bridge. Let's read the caption on this one. Good morning from Boston Monday. Another stormy day. Snowbound, stuck at home. Oh boy, coffee hot and strong. If you head south on 95, though, is an entirely different story. We're talking about this. Sheets of ice, just a little bit of ice. You're waking up this morning on your windshield. And then the last picture's coming out of North Babylon, New York. This guy driving like Ace Ventura because he needed to get his daughter to school in time, but obviously the windshield didn't thaw.
Yeah,
so
I think you got his head stuck when there's ice on your windshield.
It's so hard because especially if it's collecting, and sometimes it's this cold, the wipers won't even move it off. So you'll get that wiper skidding across the icy windshield.
It takes so long to warm up your car.
Yeah,
and then you're sticking your head out the window while you're driving.
To drive on the side roads like that, or to stick your head out the side. Boston getting hammered with nearly 6 feet of snow so far this winter. That means a lot of school cancellations. It's not just Boston. Let's talk schools.
We come by almost every day to deliver your mail.
So if you have any packages you want to return, you should just give them to us.
Since we're going to be here anyway, it's kind of a no-brainer.
Love is in the air. Celebrate with a love stamp from the U.S. Postal Service.
The future of the market is never clear, but at T. Rowe Price, we can help guide your retirement savings. Our experience is one reason 100% of our retirement funds beat their 10-year Lipper averages. So wherever your long-term goals take you, we can help you feel confident. Request a prospectus or summary prospectus with investment information, risks, fees, and expenses to read and consider carefully before investing. Call us or your advisor. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
You do realize that he hasn't stopped looking at you.
I would like to bite that lip.
I think I'd like that too.
Is this what you want?
Yes, please.
Rated R.
Please. No. Please. No.
For those headaches that just aren't bad enough for a lot of medicine, there's new Excedrin Mild Headache. 35% less medicine, plus a booster to end everyday headaches fast.
Wow.
My headache's gone.
Excedrin mild headache.
Dave, I'm sorry to interrupt. I gotta take a sick day tomorrow.
Dads don't take sick days. Dads take NyQuil. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine.
New Move Free Ultra brings a revolution to joint health. It's the smallest joint health pill, now with a new triple action formula for joint, cartilage, and bone health. Move on to new Move Free Ultra.
Let's go from our little girl to all grown up. Let's say out with the old and in with the options, like that one, or those, with features like this. Let's get exactly what we imagined for less than we thought, and turn a modest budget into a majorly stylish bath. New bathroom, no problem. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Shop stylish vanities in-store and online.
Everything in separate bins, people. Computers, shoes. You can't put two in one.
At Intel, they make technology that lets a device be a laptop and a tablet. So you can put two in one.
No, you can't.
Can.
Can't.
Can.
Intel. This is where it all changes.
See, it's like two things in one. You're like a mermaid or one of those horse guy people.
You mean like a centaur?
See, you can.
All cars are racing against time. Some are just doing better than others. Save 25% on durable Firestone Destination LE2 tires for your SUV at Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera.
Oh my God!
Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight. Wild Weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 65 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 78. Chance of rain 90%. Tonight, considerable cloudiness with occasional rain showers. Thunder possible. Low 61. Chance of rain 80%. Tuesday, chance of a morning shower. Partly cloudy. High 72. Winds west-northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
That's your local weather on the 8s. And how about an amazing Monday this morning? Okay, it's difficult to pull that one off because another Monday means another winter snowstorm. And this is Marcus hammering parts of the Northeast. But let's a little bit right now talk about the airport delays that we know about. Newark has got some delays. LaGuardia has some as well. Philly has some delays. A lot of flights canceled out of Logan this morning. Chicagoland, I know you've got a little bit of freezing mix there right now, but so far no delays for you. Schools are closed, blowing through snow days into the Northeast. That's all back-to-back record-breaking snowstorms. If you start with, I think it was Juneau, Linus, Marcus, that's more than 61 inches of snow. It's a record in Boston. Never that much snow in 30 days. New York has its own problems. It's the slip and slide with a little freezing mix, even some sleet. And the MBTA going back to Boston, warning commuters that they know you rely on them this morning, but there are a lot of delays out there and they're running on a very light schedule. Our Jim Cantori is in Boston this morning because Boston is right in the middle of it all. Good morning, Jim.
Yeah, and I can't even keep up with all the numbers, Sam, but I just tweeted out something that's wrong. I said we're 7.1 inches from getting into the top 10. We're actually 4.6 inches. So we're under 5 inches, which is what I thought. Anyway, here's the deal. Don't retweet that until I go and fix it. Either way, it's snowing in Boston and it just won't stop here. The flakes have gotten bigger. We're again, that coastal front is just off to our east right now, and as a result of that, we're just getting that warm ocean air over the top of this Arctic air, which is sitting here. Temperatures in the teens, so it's brutally cold, but of course the damage has been done. Logan is virtually done in terms of flights. We've got over 500 flights canceled. We've had, again, numerous days now. 8th day of schools canceled. They'll be canceled again tomorrow, not for the 9th day here. So big problems here in Boston, Sam. There's just no place to put all this snow as it continues to come down, and we probably have another 6 to 8 inches to go today.
Yep, we sure do. And of course, Jim is right there making sure that we get every Boston story out this morning. We're also across the Midwest this morning, waking you up. Hey, Chicago, I think we've got about 28 degrees for you. You've got a little light freezing mix going on, maybe a little light snow as well, so be careful on those roads. The numbers will continue to plummet into the Midwest and all the way across the east as we watch another round of cold air move in behind this winter storm that we're talking about. And we're out through the country covering this morning, so let's get to what we've got going on. Worcester, Mass, we're live this morning. Portland, Maine, we're live. Tom Nizzle is there with all the big storm coverage that you need to know. You've got another round of snow coming behind this. And so A-Rod will tell us all the stories that we need to know and that we know from Winter Storm Marcus.
Good morning, Sam. Good morning to you at home. Public schools in Boston closed again today. This makes 8 days so far this season. 8 days, counting snow and cold. The district only allots 5, so these extra days are going to have to be made up later in the year. Schools in Worcester, Providence, and Hartford also closed this morning. There are no travel bans, but we do have speed restrictions on the Mass Pike and the New Jersey Turnpike. More than 1,500 flights into and out of the U.S. are canceled today, with Boston's Logan Airport and New York's LaGuardia accounting for nearly 1,000 of them. Marcus also slowing down travel for bus and rail commuters. If you rely on public transit, know that the MBTA in Boston is announcing service will be suspended on the red and orange lines for 5 hours today so that jet-powered snowblowers can clear snow from the tracks in time for the afternoon commute, Sam.
All right, thanks, A-Rod. Let's get back to Boston. We'll show you all those pictures that are coming in from that area. And as you know, it's not just Boston. It's all the way into Providence this morning. And, of course, Hartford's getting the snow as well. Jim, this is another big hit, and there's more behind it. But let's talk about the problems in Boston this morning. How much would you say you've got left in this storm for you?
Oh, gosh. I mean, if we got a foot on the ground, which is what we do, all right, you probably another, I'd say 4 to 6 inches at least. It may be more than that, Sam. If you looked at the RPM model, you know, I didn't get a chance to look at it this morning, but last night it had a real heavy band of snow, essentially just west of the coastal front, which is where we are. So from the north end all the way down east of the 495, somebody is going to get the bonus snow. So they'll be 2 feet out of this somewhere. We've already gotten as much as 16 to 18 inches around the Norwell area in Massachusetts. So we're getting into that heavier snow now. It's almost like a lake effect. It kind of appears, it's that consistency, the big flakes are coming down, visibility's a half mile or less, and you know, so we could easily get another 8 to 10 inches of snow out of this, especially if we continue to see the kind of rates that we're seeing right now here in the Boston area. But you know, Anna Rittis just brought up a tremendous point. If they're going to close down mass transit today and the rails, now these people that went to work are trying to get home early or trying to get home even later on this afternoon, how are they going to deal with that? Because a lot of people are using the excellent, or usually excellent, mass transit system here in the Boston area to get to work because the roads are just so snow-packed here. So, you know, it's one of those situations where if you can stay home, you have to. The kids are off today. Tomorrow will be the 9th day, by the way. So they've already canceled school for tomorrow in Boston. The tide continues to hold its own here. You kind of head up. There's the aquarium to the left. There's the city of Boston off to the right. We've seen this really for the last 3 Mondays in a row. Of course, what we don't have today that we had so many times before, Sam, was the wind. At least we don't have the wind in this situation. Every once in a while, I'll hear a flight take off from Boston, Logan Airport, and I'm thinking those aircraft were probably already in. But right now, again, we're well over 520 cancellations out of Boston, and that's a pretty good chunk of their fleet, especially aircraft that is supposed to be departing of Boston today. If planes can't get in, they can't get out. and there's not going to be a lot of planes coming into Boston today. Sam, back to you.
But Jim, if you're hearing that sound, at least everybody can go like this. Maybe your flight's the one that's getting out of there today. All right, Jim Cantore in Boston this morning, showing us more of the snow that's on the ground and reminding us it's the 9th day tomorrow that schools are closed. Already have been closed on Tuesday in the Boston area. Let's check into New York right now. We've got a ground stop in LaGuardia. That's because of snow and ice. They need to get those runways treated. So even though we're not getting that heavy hit of snow in the New York area, we are getting that mix of sleet, rain, freezing rain, and a little bit of snow in there. 1/10 of an inch of ice is possible on your roads. Winter weather advisory in effect until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's where our Stephanie Abrams is. Look at all the pink right there. And that's that little freezing mix. Steph, how you were talking about the sleet on the roads, but the roads were mostly wet.
Yeah.
Things still in good shape in the city?
Yeah, they are. I mean, listen, we got urban heat island going on in the city. You got to keep that in mind, that things in the city are going to be different than they are on the outskirts. When you look at the radar and you see that pink, that's sleet. That means it's kind of like little teeny, it looks like hail. It's not hail, it's formed differently. Don't get it mixed up, but that's what it looks like. Sleet has a beat, it bounces. Freezing rain is going to stick. Now, here in the city, you can see cars are fine. You can see them behind me on the sidewalk, sprinkling salt, but there's still plenty of sleet that has been accumulating. So it is still slippery out there, but they're doing the best they can. This is all ice that is accumulating. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but they're kind of like, I was just about to say a word that probably wasn't appropriate for TV, little round balls of ice. That's the sleet that's accumulating. Freezing rain would just be that glaze.
Yep.
So anyhow, on the radar, when you're seeing the pink, that's sleet, purple, freezing rain is always the worst because it has that glaze. And they've had the salt, the trucks out, they've had the plows out. Sam, they're ready here. I think, thankfully, we do have some warmer temperatures, so that's our saving grace.
Yeah, and I'm looking at a little drier line getting right there almost into northern New Jersey, getting close to the coast right now, so at least we'll get a little break on what's falling. But measurable sleet's not a good thing. All right, Steph, thank you so much. 50,000 Boston students home from school today because they're closed today and, yes, again tomorrow. So we're talking to Boston Public School Superintendent because if they've run out of snow days, what do you do? Because there are some schools that will not be able to make them up if they have to go any further. So what's the plan? And also parents burning through their vacation days to have to stay at home. So this becomes a real family issue. Let's take a quick look at a radar. Look at those snow piles around every corner. Jen, and parents are concerned about this, and they're sounding off this morning.
That video we just showed was actually a parent's walk to school, if you're wondering why it was a little shaky there. As we look at the radar right now, you can see the heavier snowfall right now moving to the south of Interstate 90, south of Worcester, as well as into Boston. Still getting hammered out there all the way over towards areas like Plymouth.
Yep, and look at you, Woonsocket, Providence. You're getting ready to get into a band right now. We'll be right back.
Currently in our area, 65 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 78. Chance of rain 90%. Tonight, cloudy with occasional rain showers. Thunder possible. Low 61. Chance of rain 80%. Tuesday, chance of a morning shower. Partly to mostly cloudy. High 72. Winds west-northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hello, America, and good morning to you, Chicago and St. Louis. Let's give you a quick look at what it looks like outside this morning. Chicago, you're 28. St. Louis, you're starting off the day at about 36 degrees. Hey, here's the good news for St. Louis, at least. You're going to get a little warmer, 38. That's about it. It was nice. It was so almost 70 degrees. I know, but this is the big story that we're talking about in the middle of the country as we're waking you up. The colder air that drains down. Now, Winter Storm Marcus not off the board yet, still forcing schools in the Boston area and a lot of schools in New England to shut down today and tomorrow. That means just take Boston. 57,000 students will be home for an 8th day of school missed. Officials are scrambling to figure out how to make those days up. So let's talk to the Boston Public Schools System Superintendent John McDonough and maybe other school systems will be making similar preps or will need to hear this information as well. So, John, good morning. Thank you for joining us. The one thing I want to tackle with you, sir, this morning is you've got 14 family centers open for this snow emergency. What's a family center? Describe that for me. What do parents get if they walk into one of those?
Sure. We actually have 28 family centers citywide. 14 of them are open during the storm. This is a city agency. Many of the centers are attached to our schools. And basically, we keep those open in order to provide an opportunity for families and students who live very close to them to have an option for a full day of activities. And we're very grateful to the BCYF staff for doing this for us.
Now, okay, let's get to the real issues of school and what parents are thinking about beyond what am I going to do to keep everybody happy again today at home. But let's talk about standardized testing and how many days your system is allowed to miss before we start to have problems with the entire program. So run me through that. Is there any, should parents be concerned at all if they're getting another snowmaker and we're going to start canceling school more?
Yeah, well, first of all, we will make up school days that have been canceled. We are required to do so by law, and we will do that. Our goal is to ensure that we look at the earliest opportunities to provide additional instruction so that we are on track to complete both our requirements as well as what we want to do with students. So we're looking at both vacation periods during the year. We will not go into February, likely, because that's already upon us, and we don't know whether there's going to continue to be snow.
Exactly.
And so we will be looking at April vacation. We'll be looking at local holidays that are built into our calendar, and making some decisions pretty quickly about that.
All right, Superintendent McDonough, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's information that parents want to hear, particularly about those future holidays. So let's thank you, sir, and let's get right to Worcester, Massachusetts, where schools are also again closed today. Dave Malkoff in Worcester. Last time I saw you, it looked like you were standing at the top of the trees and the top of the street lights. Where are you now?
Yeah, we're here on the Bobcat now, Sam. This is the second snowiest big city in the United States now. And even if you do have a Bobcat, that's enough to pick up all this snow, and you're a friendly correspondent here. It's a lesson in futility. There's really nothing you can do with clearing these roads as it's coming down. They've already got somewhere in the 80-inch range for the season. Normally they should be in the 36-inch range. So that's 200% more than they actually need. So just picking up the snow, and then it comes down, and then you're picking up the snow again. That's not doing anything. That's why schools are canceled. That's why people are staying home from work. Here in Worcester, it's very hilly, very snowy, very slick. So that's why this city has come to a standstill now, Sam.
Dave, when you, I mean, first of all, I love you riding the Bobcat. Just be careful getting off the blade. But when you bring up those numbers, it's important, even to people in the middle of the country, in the Midwest this morning, that are waking up to much colder temperatures, to hear a number like 80 inches of snow for the season. And we're not talking about a ski resort. We're talking about Worcester, Massachusetts, just outside of Boston. Jen, now waking up Chicagoland with that little mix of sleet as well, and the cold air pouring south.
Yeah, and we're also looking at Cleveland as well. And good morning to you. You got some of that snow out of Marcus, but nothing in comparison to what they've picked off across parts of New England. You're like, yes, we won that one. Well, the problem is you're also losing with the temperatures. Right now, it's 22 degrees. As we go through the morning, look at this. You're not going to climb much at all. Temperatures are going to continue to fall. In fact, we're also going to be looking at another shot of some snowfall working through as we head Tuesday as well as into Wednesday. As we look at what's happening right now on the radar, you can see Marcus all the way over towards the east had a little bit of lake effect snow coming down down from Lake Michigan down towards parts of northern parts of Indiana. As we look ahead through tomorrow, 30 degrees in Minneapolis. You're saying that's not bad. Chicago 6, 25 degrees in Detroit, but the temperatures continue to tumble. You'll continue to see more of that blue air shifting down towards the south. That's Wednesday, and then Thursday, you're really going to feel it. Temperature's going to be running 10 to almost 20 degrees below average. Look at that high of 17 degrees Detroit, and it looks like the teens for parts of the upper Midwest. We'll be right back with AMHQ and Winter Storm Marcus. Don't go anywhere.
Robitussin has a unique dual-action liquid that instantly soothes your throat and delivers fast, powerful cough relief. Control your cough with Robitussin.
Covaquin's number 5, the sleepless night. Sorry. Robitussin DM Max Nighttime's dual-action liquid instantly soothes your throat and delivers fast, powerful cough relief. Robitussin, don't suffer the consequences.
Robitussin has a dual-action liquid that soothes your throat and relieves your cough.
Grandpa Bodie, Grandma said you used to be out of control.
Really? I guess I did take some risks. I trained a little bit differently. I was a little too honest sometimes. The media is useless.
You were out of control.
But not always.
Audi, proud sponsor of the U.S. ski team.
All right, listen up. Out on that field today, you will be ready for anything. And I want you to always remember, this is the greatest team you will ever be part of.
And when they're asked, what did you do to make a difference in the world? They can say, I became a soldier.
Guess what goes really well with eggs? Pillsbury Grand's biscuits make.
So that care spot sure is convenient. Why should I care that that care spot sure is convenient?
Look, Mom! I can fly!
No!
That care spot sure is convenient. With online and mobile access to check wait times, save your spot, and make appointments, plus extended hours and convenient locations near you, CareSpot is everyday healthcare made even easier.
Congratulations, you're down with Crestor.
Yes!
When diet and exercise aren't enough, adding Crestor lowers bad cholesterol up to 55%. Crestor is not for people with liver disease or women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Tell your doctor all medicines you take. Call your doctor if you have muscle pain or weakness, feel unusually tired, have loss of appetite, upper belly pain, dark urine, or yellowing of skin or eyes. These could be signs of serious side effects.
I'm down with Crestor.
Make your move. Ask your doctor about Crestor.
2752. That's 800-399-2752. 800-399-2752.
Every Sunday night, we're joining these extreme fortune seekers, gambling on the dig of their lives.
Get down now! This ain't a good place to make a mistake.
Season 3 of Prospectors, The $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 63 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 78. Chance of rain 90%. Tonight, cloudy with occasional rain showers. Thunder possible. Low 61. Chance of rain 80%. Tuesday, chance of a morning shower. Partly to mostly cloudy. High 72. Winds west-northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
19 minutes after the hour, brand new information coming out of Boston. It's why Jim's there, because we can cover it live. MBTA says the Braintree line on the red line is closed due to this worsening storm this morning. So there continues, Jim, to be problems trying to get people around today. Roads not looking good, more snow on the way.
Yeah. We're at the point now, Sam, where everybody just needs to stay home or try and just get home and let this one get through so they can clear the lines and also clear the roads. I mean, the more people we have out there really prolongs that entire thing. The other thing is, let me just put this in perspective for you, all right? As I start to look at all these stats, I'm kind of agog right now. We have broken the 3, 5, 7, 10, 20, and 30-day snow records in Boston. That's 7 records right there. We've had over 60 inches in the last 17 days. We are on our way to breaking the 40-day record. So, wow. Wow, Sam. And it continues to come down.
Yeah, and it's not that we couldn't handle this size of a snowstorm. You can't handle this size of a snowstorm when it brings the total to like 61 inches through the area, and that's the point. So right now, take a look at the numbers.
With no melting.
Right, with zero melting, and there won't be any even after this. Dylan Dreyer is on the roads right now. Jim, I want to get a little shot at her picture. Dylan, the fact that you're on the roads this morning is amazing, but what are the conditions like right now? And tell me exactly where you are.
We are in Southie right now. We, you know, obviously South Boston, and the roads are bad, but they're not as bad as they were during the blizzard, because this isn't a big punch of a snowstorm. This is more of a long, drawn-out affair with just that steady snow falling for hours on end, but the road crews have been able to keep up with it. But you can see out the front camera that these little side streets is where we're seeing just a lot more snow on the road. The main roads are okay, but there are a lot of vehicles on the roads. There is no travel ban in effect right now because they considered this a long-duration event, so they thought that the crews could keep on top of the roads and keep them up and running. So unfortunately, we're noticing though there's just a lot of activity. There's really no chance to clear away the roads because there's so many cars on them. You can see right now just the stream of cars coming down this little side street here. This isn't even a major road, and I think that's going to end up biting Boston in the butt, so to speak, just because with all the cars on the road you can't really clean it up. So I'm very surprised that there is no travel ban in effect right now.
I agree with you, Dylan, and it's interesting. It's a good point to bring up, and let's start talking about it this morning and getting people aware that honestly a travel ban would be the most helpful thing for you because it would allow them to get ahead of the roads that Dylan just showed you outside her windshield this morning are waiting for you. All right, Dylan Dreyer, thank you so much. And let's get back to Jim. Hey, Jim, if you saw that, I don't know if you could get up to the monitor. I know there's some snow falling there, but if you just saw Dylan's picture, the fact that there's so much traffic on these little roads right now, I really think we ought to start saying, I know everybody wants to get out, but this may be the time to stay in today.
And that's what I said. It's time to get everybody home, Sam, and get everybody off the roads because it's just going to prolong getting everything cleared. All right, that's the biggest issue in through here. By the way, if Dylan can still hear me, all she's got to do is drive down to Taunton from where she is, and she'll drive across the coastal front. Almost 20-degree difference, 15-degree difference actually between where she is right now and Taunton, Mass, with 32 degrees on the other side of the coastal front. All right, let's bring in the Niz because you know it's easy to get Boston-centric with everything that's going on here. But Niz, where are we at right now with the icing down in the Lower Hudson Valley, in southern Connecticut, and across Northeast PA, North Jersey?
Yeah, unfortunately, we're still getting freezing rain and sleet down there. And I even noticed on your camera shots there a difference in the character of the snowflakes coming down. It looks like they're getting rimed with super cooled water droplets now, Jim. And I think that's a little bit of that warmer moisture coming in off the Atlantic into your area. But it's going to snow there in Boston. As we get further south, though, this is where the freezing rain and sleet is taking place. And let's show you how this setup actually works. So this is the temperature structure of the atmosphere around New York City now where the freezing rain is. The temperature here at the surface below 32, but we get this warm layer aloft here that has come in. So snowflakes start in the clouds. They partially melt as they come down. They continue to melt. They hit the surface here as liquid. And when they hit these surfaces below 32, you get instant freezing. The treated roads are helping out a lot here. A little further north of New York City, all you have to do is drop this temperature a touch. You have a much deeper layer of cold air. Those raindrops refreeze. They come down as sleet. Sleet has a beat. It hits the road. road, but it doesn't produce the glaze. And back in Boston right now, you're going to continue to see these temperatures below freezing throughout the day, and you're going to continue to see the snow come down. I'll tell you what, guys, you take a look at New York City as an example. Through the rest of the morning here, you're into the wintry mix. You finally get into snow as we end the day into this evening. It's going to wind down, but we're going to have winter for a long time to come, guys. So we're going to continue to update you throughout the day here on this. When I come back next at the end of the week, Storm, we'll send it back to you.
There's a myth out there that you can't do it all, that you can't be everything to everyone. Well, consider that myth shattered. This is the full line of Ram ProMaster vans and the all-new Ram ProMaster City, built to help you run the town from every direction.
Coffequince number 5, the sleepless night. Sorry. Robitussin DM Max Night Times dual action liquid instantly soothes your throat and delivers fast, powerful cough relief. Robitussin, don't suffer the Coffequinces.
Robitussin has a dual-action liquid that soothes your throat and relieves your cough.
You get sick, you can't breathe through your nose. Suddenly, you're a mouth breather. A mouth breather. Well, put on a Breathe Right strip and shut your mouth. Cold medicines open your nose over time, but add a Breathe Right strip and pow, it opens your nose up to 38% more, so you can breathe and do the one thing you want to do, sleep. Add Breathe Right to your cold medicine, shut your mouth, and sleep right. Breathe Right. And look for the calming scent of new Breathe Right Lavender in the sleep aisle.
The best part about going to Walt Disney World just might be staying at a Walt Disney World Resort Hotel. From royal encounters to royal rooms. And pirates to paradise. The magic never has to stop. And now you can save up to 30% off a select Walt Disney World Resort hotel room. Book your stay now and discover how close the magic can be.
At Intel, they have technology that lets your face be your password. Oh, that is one secure password.
Intel. This is where it all changes.
Remember when you said men are superior drivers?
Yeah?
Yeah. Then how'd I get this?
Allstate Safe Driving Bonus Check.
Who's that? So weird, right? My agent Tom said...
Only Allstate sends you a bonus check for every 6 months you're accident-free.
But I'm a woman. Maybe it's a misprint. Does it look like a misprint?
Okay, let's try. Silence. Ask an Allstate agent about the Safe Driving Bonus Check. Are you in good hands?
Sunday dinners at my house.
You're waiting for my lasagna, aren't you?
It's a full day for me, and I love it. But when I started having back pain, my sister had to come help. I don't like asking for help. I took Tylenol, but I had to take 6 pills to get through the day. So my daughter brought over some Aleve. It's just 2 pills all day. And now,
to family,
I'm back.
Aleve, 2 pills, all day strong, all day long. And now, introducing Aleve PM for a better AM.
All cars are racing against time. Some are just doing better than others. Save 25% on durable Firestone Destination LE2 tires for your SUV at Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera.
Oh my God!
Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8.